A very warm welcome back to my channel, everybody. Sorry for the wild hair look today. I've been up most of the night doing some research on different things, and before I knew it, it was daybreak. So here I am. Now, what have I got to tell you? So I watched the annual general meeting 2024 last night. I had a special live link sent to me and I recorded most of that meeting. What can I tell you? Well, there's 2 new governing body members that have just been accepted onto the executive body of Jehovah's Witnesses, and these brothers are a lot younger than current members of the governing body. The brothers are called, one of them is called Jody Jadell and the other one is called Jacob Rumpf. What can I tell you? It wasn't spectacular, much of a muchness really. There were a couple of things. There were a lot of beard jokes. Oh my goodness, Jehovah's Witnesses laugh at anything. The beard jokes were just on another level. Gage Flegel starts the annual general meeting, he's the chairman, by mentioning the words many tekel parson. And all of us know what that means and where it appeared, in front of Belshazzar back in 539. And then he goes on to list some of the things that happened on the same date, the 5th of October, from an organisational viewpoint. So, you know, he included the printing facilities moving from Brooklyn to Warwick on the same date, October the 5th. The New World Translation Bible, which was brought out in 2013, was handed out on October the 5th. And 2019 Ramapo was built as well on the same day. And as Gage Flegel was saying all of these things, I'm thinking, well, all those achievements have been weighed and held in the balance and found to be deficient. I thought it was very apt. But anyway, I'm not going to bore you with all of that. I did write some notes down. The new video, animated video that has Caleb and Sophia in it. It was to do with the memorial, and they just showed a little bit of it with Sophia passing the glass of wine to her newly interested school friend, which I thought was just insane, because I just thought, well, you know, they're brainwashing children into rejecting the body and blood of our Lord, which I just found very, very disturbing. Anyway, these governing body members, Jody Jadell, getting back to them, and Jacob Rumpf, I know one of them, he has been working as a real estate consultant for the Watchtower for quite a number of years. And of course, he's ideal for monitoring the real estate empire. Okay. This new adjustment, they don't mention one word of new light in this annual general meeting. It's all adjustments. And when they refer to people who have been disfellowshipped, right down to the interviews that they show as well, in their presentations, everybody uses the word removed. So everybody's been very, very well trained for this AGM. So they also, Jeffrey Jackson makes a very bold statement. The Great Tribulation will begin when, well, they've said that anyway, when all governments attack false religions. But the new understanding is the Great Tribulation will begin when all governments make the United Nations or the UN a world powerful government to solve all the problems happening around the world. So all the political governments, this is what Jeffrey Jackson actually said, will surrender their powers to the United Nations to make all the necessary changes they deem necessary in the world. And it will happen suddenly as a great surprise, which will shock the whole world, because Jehovah will be the one to let his thought flow into all the governments. This is what Jeffrey Jackson is actually saying. With regards to the anointed, they will be caught up suddenly. See, they contradict themselves, because in this AGM they're talking about the anointed and younger ones. The whole theme of the AGM was train younger people, no matter what position, whether they're circuit overseers, whether they're missionaries, whether they're members of the governing body. It's all about the youth. We need young people, because the ones that have been doing it for years are either dying or they're not in a position to carry on with the work that they're doing. So the push to recruit young people, whether that's construction, whether that's Bethel or the field service, is all aimed at the youth. And they changed the ages actually. So if you want to apply for Bethel or construction, that's been changed now from 19 years of age to 18 years of age. That's, so I mean, I know it's only a year, but they've still lowered the age. And also, if you want to go to ski to be a special pioneer, you only have to be 21 years of age now. So the emphasis is on the youth. Just really, the flavour that came out with regards to older ones is, you know, there has-beens, and they've just been thrown on the scrap heap, basically. I don't really know what else to say with regards to this AGM. There was no annual report, although they did give some improvements, or sorry, increase in, sorry to have to say this, but third world countries. They were banging on about South America, and of course all the young people that they're trying to get to come to Bethel or go on construction or go in the field or go on ski will be headed to these countries, because this is what Jeffrey Winder said. Theocratic construction needs spiritually qualified young men, or basically yes men, who in time can take the lead as trade overseers, construction committee members, and then, which really smacked of desperation. And Jeffrey Winder asks the audience to consider countries that need kingdom halls in South Africa. So he went on to say the Congo has reported a deficit of 1,900 new kingdom halls. Zambia needs over 900 new kingdom halls. Mozambique and Angola each need 500 kingdom halls. Nigeria report 2,000 renovations to kingdom halls, in addition to the new ones that they need. Not to mention major work on branch construction and RTOs, school facilities. So these young ones that have been targeted by the likes of Jeffrey Winder, he's talking to the young ones that are living in, developed countries, affluent, rich, developed countries. Now, all they've got to send these people, these young ones, to are the countries that I've just mentioned. There's no mention of places like UK, United States, Europe, Australia. Not one mention. It's all third world, underdeveloped countries that they're wanting to send these people to, and they're wanting to put some buildings in place. But you see, they're not going to mention anywhere that I've just mentioned in terms of developed countries, because they're selling all those kingdom halls, because some of the buildings are actually quite nice. They're quite beautiful. But again, I don't mean to sound disrespectful. When you look at a kingdom hall in, a third world country like South Africa, they're very, very basic frames with maybe a tin roof and wooden seats and the like. And, that's not going to be a potential real estate property to make a premium on further down the track when they decide to merge a kingdom hall. No. If you look at kingdom halls for sale all over the world, or kingdom halls for sale that have sold on Facebook, which have got 2 dedicated pages, hundreds of kingdom halls have been sold all over Australia and all over the world for a premium. So, I wasn't impressed one bit, talking about all these third world places in South Africa. It just smacked of pure desperation from the governing body members to love bomb the young people, and also putting pressure on parents to start training. And they use these words because when it all comes out, you'll see it. Parents are to train young teenage children now with spiritual goals to get them into Bethel, so that they can be trained in Bethel to go for bigger things. And this is what's happening. I don't really want to sound disrespectful to third world countries like South Africa, but these are the places that young people are going to be sent to. Can you imagine, young people, witnesses, being sent to places like, the Congo or Mozambique, Nigeria, when they've been used to, living luxurious lives? They're going to hate it. Just all, very, very pushy towards the young ones. And then Mark Sanderson, he covered another area where they want young people to make an impact. Obviously, the field service. Again, he was getting a few jokes in about beards at every opportunity, actually, and you could hear Jehovah's Witnesses laughing. They just laugh at anything. He made this very, very bold statement that nearly, and I quote, 9 million are preaching in some 240 lands. Well, 240 lands. I remember it being 240 lands back in 2014 with around 8.5 million. So there's no growth, but they go on about it as though there is. It's massive. I don't believe a word that they're saying, because they can lie and fudge the numbers. There was no annual report. Like I said, only African countries mentioned. And he goes on to say the Mozambique Memorial for last service year, was 400,000. 400,000. And I've just got a reference there to go to my book. 400,000 at the memorial. Angola, 900 new publishers per month. Congo, 1,300 new publishers per month. And the Philippines, 1,000 are baptized every single month. They've sent 36 new missionaries to Madagascar and 10 new missionaries to Latvia. And they did videos with young people to back all of these up, which were super staged. I mean, you've got to believe it. You've got to see it to believe it. But I don't think the AGM is coming out until the first part is December, and then the second part in January. So we've got a bit of a way to go. I was very fortunate that I had the live link sent to me yesterday by a friend of mine in Italy. So thank you very much to my beautiful friend. You know who you are. And then Mark Sanderson meticulously goes through the steps on how to become a missionary and how old you need to be. 21 years now, a person can attend ski if they are spiritually qualified. So very desperate, and he came across as quite creepy as well. Yeah, just not impressed at all. And like I said, not one mention of a developed, affluent country. It's all Africa and poor countries and poor places that were mentioned. Okay. And then Jeffrey Jackson, yeah, I think I've touched on that already, about the way that they view how everything will pan out when the Great Tribulation starts. I'm not going to bore you with it. I'm going to let you watch it when it comes out, because you have to see it to believe what they're saying. It's just no surprises really that they're aiming everything at the young ones now, because they're in panic mode. And you know, like I said, they're fudging the numbers. And even Jeffrey Jackson goes on with regards to Jehovah's judgments regarding those that have died in the flood and those who have died in Sodom and Gomorrah. And when you listen to him, sorry man, my nose is running. When you listen to Jeffrey Jackson, he makes out as though this is a new viewpoint, a new adjustment. But for example, the resurrection teachings for Sodom and Gomorrah span decades. In the 1800s, Sodom and Gomorrah would be resurrected. 1940s, no resurrection. 1960s, resurrected. 1960s, not resurrected. 1970s, resurrected. 1980s, some resurrected. 1990s, no resurrection. And 2020s, some are resurrected. So work that one out, folks. No idea what they're talking about there. Also, Jeffrey Jackson went on to say in the 2023 AGM, an adjustment was made regarding the reporting of time in the preaching work. Instead of, and this was his excuse, this was his response. That happened because instead of focusing on reports, we tried to make good use of every opportunity to witness. That was his response as to why, you know, decades of reporting has now stopped, because all of a sudden now they want to concentrate on witnessing to people and making disciples. It's pathetic. Jeffrey Jackson, do you think that we all came in the last shower? I remember when I was regular pioneering, so I was out most days. I would do my reporting at home when I'd finished going on the ministry. So, they really do treat rank and file witnesses as though they're thick, that they haven't got a brain. They're really condescending and patronising, And like I said, there's no annual report this year. I wonder why. Leave your comments below, my friends. And then he brings it up to 2024 governing body update, number 2. We saw the need on how to interact with those who had committed serious sins and had been removed from the congregation. The emphasis on the preaching work is now securing Bible studies and making disciples, not distributing literature. Well, why would they distribute literature when it's all online? Jehovah's Witnesses, when they're on the cart work and people want to know more, what do? They direct them, the interested person, to jw.org. So why would they distribute literature? Because everything's online. And then Jeffrey Jackson finishes by saying all of those adjustments that have come out from 2013 onwards, all those adjustments have been made to refine Jehovah's Witnesses' understanding of how Jehovah reveals things. Honestly, you couldn't make this stuff up. It's just absolutely pathetic. They're all sporting beards, most of them. Kenneth Cook did a talk, on tearing down. What should we tear down and what should we build up? I'm going to be really honest here. I nearly fell asleep with boredom because that man has the personality of a snail, basically. So I just switched off. But yeah, you can watch it when it comes out, my friends. But I just wanted to bring the main points out about the 2 new members of the governing body, and they'll be way younger than the others that are on there. Stephen Lett, looking very, very old now, and had to sit down to do his talk, but try to get a laugh in here and there, with the way that his his rubber face emphasizes things, and then tries to garner a cheap laugh from the audience, which he did. He achieved that. I just shook my head. I was like, wow. I used to listen to this. I listened to this absolute garbage for 35 years. And now looking in, I can see it. We can all see it, can't we, for what it really is. So, my friends, that's really all I've got to say on this annual report. Nothing flash. Everything aimed at young people, for the next generation. And of course, these 2 new governing body members, they're going to be younger because they can't keep bringing up the overlapping generation, can they? I think for me, just to conclude, this organisation, they've told that many lies and they've made that many excuses up and fudged every single thing from scripture by twisting it and then adding and taking away, that they can't even play catch up now, because the internet and social media have just caught up with them and run ahead, and then turned around and said, look at what you're all doing now, we can see this. And that's why people are waking up. Never mind what they're saying about 9 million. There is not 9 million Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm sorry, friends. It's just a lie. Show us the hard evidence. Show us, give us an annual report and then give us some film evidence to show that this is the case. Because it just is not. It isn't. What else have I got to say on this non-eventful AGM? Well, there's nothing to do with blood transfusions. They haven't said anything about that. They haven't said anything about, birthday cakes are okay without the candles, because all those things have been flying around. Nothing of the sort. They've just been sticking to young people love bombing to the max in sheer desperation, and then going as far as to add 2 new younger members of the governing body. So yeah, those names again. Real estate witness Jody Jadell and Jacob Rumpf. So watch this space, everybody, and yeah, the AGM the first part will be out around December time. So until then, until the next video, have a good day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. I love every single one of you, and take care. Always be kind, loving, forgiving towards one another where possible, and always work at being your true, authentic self every day.